Ziggity Zig talking his way at a silver game number 25, and this is a PvZ between myself up here in the top of, I think, Daybreak, and SDastra, SDastra down here on the left. Now, this is a game from a little while ago, so it's not exactly an up-to-date game. I'm just going to take a sip of water. So, I don't think anything huge happened in the last large patch, so there shouldn't be any ginormous differences here, just maybe a little bit in my play, because I have been trying a few different tactics recently, especially hotkeying my observer on my third, but you're pretty much going to see, I mean, it's me, so you're going to see a 3k robo is pretty much all you're always going to get. Now, I have been playing around, in fact, I played around for about 10 minutes before I started this, turning every little thing on and off in the graphics menu, and what do I get? I get the pylons, and when it comes up, what happens? Do I see a cool grid? Do I see any kind of blue hazy space? I see absolutely squat, so I can't see any of the zone around where the pylon is. So I'm gonna try to figure that out. I did already try, and I just got absolutely nowhere, so sorry about that. We're still not seeing, I mean, I'm not promising great graphics, but I just like to see at least sometimes a couple of graphics. Ooh, speaking of graphics, I actually just pasted a link recently on my Twitter feed, at ZiggyStarcraft, if you don't follow, and it was to a suggestion by a guy. Oh man, now I've totally lost his name. Anyway, it was just a YouTube video of a YouTube guy that I found. It was how to increase your YouTube subs, and it wasn't just things like, oh, you know, you just gotta go out and you gotta send lots of spam messages to everybody. It wasn't anything, you know, useless information like that. The guy was just talking about generic content and just how to make your content a little, you know, try to have a lot of energy and not just sound boring. There's lots of different videos people watch. People will either watch someone be entertaining, be funny, or be impressive. So since I can't really do impressive, I try to be entertaining and or funny. We see how well that goes. I think that's about it. There's not all that much going on right now. I did see SDastra trying to expand down here, so I thought I'd be a smarmy git and try to do a little bit of play around down here, but as you can see, what I've done now is I am about to miss my 16 pylon. So in just a second, you're going to see me be totally supply blocked. Now, I could have made a zealot just there, cover myself up. I also haven't made my cyber core yet, so I'm way behind, all because I was trying to be all clever. So there's no cyber core. Put it right there, put it right there, or you can put it down here. Aha. I'm still not all that good at this whole walling in thing, whereas, you know, up against Zergs is just the thing you're supposed to do. So let's switch on over to, yeah, just what I can see. So at the moment, what I saw was, I mean, pretty much a fast expand, so I know that I'm safe from any kind of cheese or rush, which is good because I totally screwed up any kind of defense against a cheese or rush. Okay, I almost feel like I can take a breath now. But I shouldn't, that's the whole point. The other thing, I think I mentioned this in some of our Lime Not Lemon casts, is a recent one. See, that's the thing, I try to avoid saying a lot, because I don't like hearing that all too often. I hate hearing it on the news. I hear it from news reporters. I just did it again. Fairly often, and it really drives me nuts. So if you're going to do it, at least do it quickly. I think I managed to get away with it. I just sort of sneak it in between words. That if you say things fast enough, it doesn't sound like you're stuttering or you can't think of a word to say. I'm really bad with words, and I can never think of what to say, so whenever I can't think of anything to say, I just do what everyone does when you can't think of what to say. You ramble. I ramble a lot, and rambling can actually be a pretty good quality for a StarCraft 2 caster. And if you have to say, you cheat. How do I cheat? You guys probably noticed this. When I can't think of something and I'm about to say, I just let the word go on a lot longer. For example, if I'm trying to say something after and then you get this gateway going, making some zealots. There we go. So I'm making some zealots. I could have said a really long in there, but I chose not to. Why am I not chrono boosting my cyber core? Let's have a look over there. I'm pretty high in the chrono, so obviously I'm just using up my ridiculously low EPM somewhere else. I apparently decided to put in a forward-ish pylon. Daybreak is a deceptively long distance in between, so I do sometimes like to get a pylon or two out in the middle of the map. Now, how are we doing up here? That's not too bad, actually. Worker supply doing quite well. Roughly in between. SDastra's getting some metabolic boost there, getting another couple queens, additional extractors. Of course, I'm not really telling what's going on here. So I went Robo first, followed by 2 gateways. So my gateways are actually ready to get warp gate applied to them. 1 observer out straight into the immortal. assuming that in these leagues, basically I do a lot of assumption. That was water. Assumption builds. So I get the observer to go and see, and then I'm pretty safe in knowing that an immortal will really help. There comes some more gateways, and I'm pretty much ready to expand here at the 650 mark. Not bad. With my forward pilot. Now, what I was talking about is something that I heard in Total Biscuit was actually asked this question to say what makes a good playthrough or a good cast. That was mostly talking about Let's Plays, and I try not to do Let's Plays. I try to do something more like actual playthroughs themselves, and holy crap, look at all those Zerglings. And so most of his advice on what makes a good playthrough, it's not exactly advice, it's more his particular taste. This is what I like about Total Biscuit. He does not talk about being an expert, he just says what he enjoys. So he is an entertainer, as well as he also gives a lot of information, but for the most part, there is no right or wrong in doing anything, because I've seen lots of people do the exact opposite. If you look at the most famous trollers, you look at people like Destiny or Combat X. I'm trying to say X Combat, that's not right. Or Combat. So, two people like that. I believe I'm trying to get... No, I still have not a single sentry. That doesn't seem right. I should have some sentries if I'm seeing a lot of Zerglings come up here. So, meantime, what does my observer see? Basically just, you know, a bunch of queens, which doesn't seem all that useful, but there are... So there's a big mob of Zerglings. So what Total Biscuit looks for in a Let's Play is the exact opposite of what I do. He likes to see someone who's played the game quite a lot, and will show you something impressive about it. I don't do that. So again, there's just a few things that have been happening where I think to myself, oh man, I'm doing the exact opposite of what everyone seems to be looking for. But I do try to make things entertaining, make things quick, keep the action flowing. So I don't want to just sit here and stare at a blank screen and have nothing happen. Otherwise I put music on, which is another method of doing things. Because honestly, impressive play, I subscribe to a bunch of people who have really impressive play. You go over and you watch Whiterun stream, you're not going to hear a lot of Whiterun, he's just going to play, and it's going to be awesome. But you go to some people for the talk, and you go to other people for the gameplay. For me, the gameplay is not impressive, so you gotta hope that you make up for it somehow else. So,
Base is under attack.
So he spots this, and he even comes over and finds my probe. Oh no, run away, run away, run away, run away, and I'm in trouble. Okay. So he gets my forward pylon, and I am now supply blocked, and I'm not building anything else. Ooh, that's bad. I'm still up at 28. Where's another... I'm supply blocked and I'm not doing anything. Where are my pylons? Make a pylon, make a pylon.
I return to serve.
What? Why you no notice? Why you no notice? Still got a chrono on that. Make it... Oh man, that was far too long. Far, far too long. That wasn't good at all. However, at my expansion, which I should be able to do quite well with the split, I'm making 2 more gateways, so that's cool. So that means that I have... How many? 5? Oh, 5 gateway, 1 robo. That's pretty bad at the 10-minute mark. Let's have a look at the army supply. Pretty much even. SDastra is quite a bit ahead of me as far as workers go. This was a bad game to try to talk about lots of other things, because now I have no idea what's going on, because I wasn't paying attention. Derp. However, he's got Burrow on the way. I still don't think I saw much in the way of tech. I didn't see a Roach Warren. This was before I had my observer on my hotkey. Here comes an observer, or an overlord. Am I going to warp in and take care of this? Because he comes in and gets a really spiffy look. I should be well into some seriously quite awesome tech right now. It's getting my Colossus out. But I'm at +1, so... And I'm still just on gateway units. I'm not sure if I'm doing anything about... No, I'm just letting this overlord go right through, because one of my biggest problems at the moment is I don't look at the minimap. There is another overlord on the way, but currently I am still not making enough probes, so I'm not saturated at my 2 bases at the moment. Well, I'm almost saturated up there, but just not quite ready to go. So now I want to move out and put a pylon just about there. I'm really lucky here, and this is when I see... I got so lucky at this move out, because look at this. This is the army supply. I'm only a little bit ahead. But let's watch what happens here. I split the roaches. He tries to run the roaches. managed to take out all of the Zerglings. So I just cut that in half. I lost nothing. And I just destroyed half his army.
I'm here.
No payback. Oh, there we go. Oh, no, I almost had that one taken out. I'm not sure I actually have a... Ooh, man, what's going on? I really should use the middle mouse button more. Oop, no, because when I do that, I need a different middle mouse button. Hey, I know, let's try new things while I'm looking at a game. I must have an observer with me. Yeah, there's a second observer with me that's going to go in and clean up these creep colonies, and basically now I just wander through and I cut stuff up. So here's the rest of his army down here. It's actually kind of catching up army supply-wise. Definitely way out and not spending all of SDastra's minerals. Got him off. I think the reason for that, hopefully, was for me to get up the ramp without being, what's the word? Unmolested. I was going to say unmolested, and then I chose not to. So there I am, using a few more. So he actually tries to run all the way around, but I finally get around to a bit of a force field over there. I have moved ahead with a pylon, which I'm reinforcing myself from there. I am really not catching enough gas at the moment. I've got one harvester on my second gas, but I'm just sort of sticking myself here in the middle. I probably should put up... there it is, and there's the Guardian Shield. I help myself against the roaches, but the Immortals, just this Immortal push, is really just doing quite a number on that. So that game comes all the way down to right here, when I moved out to take this tower. He was right there moving towards it, and I just got really lucky hitting off some force fields, otherwise that could have gone quite badly. With roaches and Zerglings, I think throwing down the force field first, because if the Zerglings hit you first, throwing down the Guardian Shield first is not going to help. But the force fields are going to help against both units, roaches and Zerglings, so I'm kind of pleased about doing that. You let me know what you hit first. Do you hit Guardian Shield first, or do you hit force field first when you come up against a pretty sizable Zerg army? Or do you actually rationally have a look at it and try to see which one would be better in the long run? Leave me a comment down below, send me an email, ziggityzig@gmail.com, or you can follow me on Twitter @ZiggyStarCraft. I already said everything in the first half of the video, so there's nothing left to say. Tomorrow's going to be another live game. See what happens on Thursday, and then more action. Stay tuned.